Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you, everybody who was able to be here during the live review of Married to Medicine. I'm catching up, everybody. Married to Medicine live review. This was actually a great episode only because of certain scenes that happened. Because my notes were all over the place, I'm going to just do it as a recap slash rant review. If we get people in live during the chat, we can just go back and forth about what we saw. But this was the Players Ball. We are in season 12 of Married to Medicine, episode 3. The Players Ball is referring to a party that Dr. Contessa had to throw for herself because Dr. Scott is selling it as if she's such a perfectionist, he can't satisfy her. That's why he's never thrown her a party in their 2 decades together. I'm calling BS on Dr. Scott, but that's what Dr. Contessa tells herself. That's what Dr. Scott is saying. So that's what the Players Ball is. We start out with the scenes where the doctors, the people affiliated with the doctors, the spouses, the girlfriends, the nurse practitioners. Hello, nurse practitioners. I love them. Brandy Milton and Angel Love Davis are the nurse practitioners. We see a little bit more of Angel this episode. We need to see even more. Brandy is doing pretty good as far as her exposure, but my heart is with the new season, this season's nurse practitioners. And they are wearing my cloak of immunity because we know how the veterans and the OGs like to do when they turn their bitter old lady on, Dr. Jackie. Dr. Contessa, not old, but medium aged, mid-age, middle-aged lady. Bitter, Dr. Contessa. And I used to love Dr. Contessa. She got on my nerves. All right, enough previewing. I'm going to start, everybody. And again, I'm focusing on the scenes that stood out the most to me. And it wasn't the Players Ball, Dr. Contessa. She spent $40,000. I'll talk more about that. We start out with Zach, one of my favorite Married to Medicine children, one of my favorite Bravo celebrity children. We got to see Zach shadow Dr. Heavenly last year. We know he is at Meharry Medical School. He's going to be a dentist. Zach is telling Dr. Heavenly, welcome, Trish 612. Thank you so much, Grand Rising Sand. This is one of my moderators. This is my sister. I appreciate you being here. She's still catching up. I'm going to start watching, although I still need to catch up. Yes, you can start with season 12. One of the great seasons. I'll come up with some seasons that you can just kind of, I know you started early on, so you got to meet Mariah, the creator of the show, and got to see when Heavenly joined in season 2 as an actual cast member, but you'll be able to follow. This was a good episode. Welcome in, Mama Bees. She says, Grand Rising Sandra P, chat and mod. She's one of the moderators. So we start out with the montage, all of the doctors and everyone affiliated have their little scenes. I like the way Married to Medicine starts that. It catches you up with everybody. But again, I'm going to mainly be focused on scenes that stand out to me just because I'm behind on reviews this week. So Married to Medicine, season 12, episode 3, The Players Ball. Zach is in the office with Dr. Heavenly. That's one of Dr. Heavenly's 3 beautiful children. She has Zach, she has Damon Jr., and she also has Alora. We've met all 3 of them through the show. Over the past few years, Damon Jr. has kind of dropped out of being on the show because of Dr. Heavenly and her big mouth and some occurrences that have happened. Damon Jr.'s name is now in the show front and center this season for an incident that he had on campus. So we'll talk more about that. If you watch my prior reviews for the first 2 episodes, you'll see more about it. Welcome, Sharon Gabo. Thank you for coming in. I haven't even started yet. I'm catching up with Married to Medicine, the Players Ball. But I've told everybody it's just going to be the main scenes that stand out to me because Dr. Contessa thinks she did that, but she did not. It was just as far as her party that she threw for herself. Zach's in the office with Dr. Heavenly. She's saying, when you going to bring me, I don't know if she wanted a daughter-in-law or you can find one girl. The look on Zach's face, everybody. I'll reserve my judgment. I actually love Zach. He's handsome. He's so sweet. I remember they threw a party for him. He was leaving for Meharry Medical. And Dr. Simone, what do you need, nephew? You need anything? And he was like, I don't need anything. And Dr. Heavenly said, money. Tell people you need money. Because Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly proudly support their children through school. That will come up later too, y'all. But Zach is telling Dr. Heavenly, Mom, I got to tell you, I like a lot of girls. I don't know, y'all. Zach, she said, well, you just need one, like your mama. I will say this with certainty. Zach doesn't seem to want one like his mama. I don't know if it's the loudness. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, y'all. You remember Mariah told Heavenly when she said, you want to see the receipts, baby girl? Because I have them. She said, I know what Damon really likes. So does Zach like what Damon like? What does Dr. Damon really like? So I don't know, y'all. What is it? I don't know. I truly don't know. But I love Zach. I want him to have what he wants. But he's focused on school now, I guess, dating. I saw a picture of him surrounded with a ton of beautiful girls, but we all know in college that doesn't mean a whole lot. What does Zach like? Zach, you're not a center focus here, so I'm not going to speculate too much. But it seems like the opposite of whatever Heavenly is maybe what he likes. I don't know. So his response is, Dr. Heavenly's not going to get what she wants anytime soon out of Zach. So leave our nephew alone, Heavenly. He's going to be what he is when he gets ready, and don't chase him off like Damon Jr. All that hollering and cussing. They don't like that, and they don't deserve that. Most children, young men, young people don't. Just talk to him. So we have a scene with Toya and Contessa. Contessa she shows up. She thinks she's doing something, y'all. Dr. Contessa is very thin, but she also have her muscles. You know, she's a bodybuilder. She's got her Afro wig on because she's getting in kind of in the spirit for her Players Ball. Welcome in, Soundcheck Annette. I'm going to see you this weekend. I will be happy to see you. And y'all, I'm speaking about Winter Wonderland. So my outfit, I have to try it on. I ordered it early this time. Kiwan JTV, Grand Rising, good morning. Hey, y'all. Hey, friends. That is one of my fellow content creators. Very funny, very sweet. But if you need dragging, she's the one to do it. Kiwan JTV. Make sure you are subscribed to her if you're not. Because she also, in addition to reality shows, you'll get scripted television too. So if you don't have time to watch, still watch the review. So Zach, I want Zach to be and have whatever he wants. Dr. Heavenly, don't start pressuring him now. Don't start. So Toya and Contessa were in this scene where she's walking up, bragging about her party. She's a little concerned. She doesn't want the women to come in criticizing. And Toya's like, did you invite our group of friends? Because Toya knows what it is. And Toya's going to be one of the ones to get it started. So Dr. Contessa, you have been here. I'm disappointed that she is so kind of immature and off base about what it really is. Contessa, I'm sorry. We'll see what she's going to do. So she confides to Toya that she spent $40,000 on her party. Toya's like, $40,000? Contessa like, too much, too little? Toya's like, I've never spent $40,000 on a party. She tells us in the confessional. And Toya has done some really nice events. Toya has great taste. Say what you want about her and Eugene's finances, Dr. Eugene, which they have spilled years ago, but they've constantly custom built new homes, flipped out of those, and do exactly what they want to do. And Toya doesn't accept any judgment for that. I don't blame her. And Dr. Eugene is a hardworking man. He loves working hard and providing for his family, including those two boys that we love, Ashton, and I'm going to come up with the other one's name. It's 2 A names, Avery, possibly. So Contessa doesn't want any criticism. Contessa is that type of friend. She only accepts all positives. But people are not going to lie to you either, Dr. Contessa. I'll just say nothing if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So she wants the approval and praise from this group. She's not going to get it. I'm sorry. There are things that are really admirable about Contessa, but she wants them to admire her for her fashion. No, her marriage, this party. No, it's not happening, Contessa. It's not. Kiwan J is saying what it is. That's the word I was looking for. Contessa is delusional. So these are just opinions, and everything is alleged, and in my opinion, but we have speculation that Dr. Contessa may be delusional. And I have to agree with that. We'll go on this episode based on this party. And then we can drag in what she's done in past seasons. She's delusional. She thought she and Dr. Heavenly were close friends. So that tells you right there. Thank you, Mama Bees. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share, keep the channel in the algorithm. I appreciate that. She and Toya talking about this party. We find out Toya only spends a few $1,000s for kids' parties and stuff like that. So this is really crazy. So it looks like it's going to be a fun party. Of course, players ball. I call it pimps up, pros down. I don't love the theme, but it looks like it's more of a 70s theme because I really thought they were doing more like a pimps up, pros down theme, which I don't love for the doctors. But we'll see as some of them show up in their true personality. There's a reason why it looks more like a pimps up, pros down with certain cast members. We have the party. Brandy arrives early to help Contessa set up. This will be important later. Contessa starts telling Brandy that Scott don't really want to do anything. She was having the same line of conversation with Toya. Dr. Scott doesn't really help her. We flash back to where she's bringing home a bunch of stuff, hands full. Excuse me. Comes in her kitchen and Dr. Scott like, well, did you bring the ice cream? She has him thinking that she is Superwoman, and that's how he treats her. Even with the diagnosis that she received years ago, Dr. Scott just doesn't support her. And I'm back and forth. I like them as a couple, but now I'm going back to not liking them as a couple. Good morning, Paula. Thank you for coming into the live. I'm glad you made the live. Good to see you. Married to Medicine, the Players Ball. So we just get to Contessa's party. Heavenly arrives. She is the +1 to Dr. Jackie and to Curtis. Curtis is dressed in his full spirit. He is dressed like a full-on pimp, y'all. I can't stand to see him coming in. He coming in. Heavenly got off on Dr. Jackie. She said, Curtis, you a pimp. Now, Dr. Heavenly, you were in the limo with them. You didn't say that? She wait till the cameras get there. They all get out together. Now, they did look good. She said, Curtis, you a pimp. You got your hoes with you. So she's saying that to Dr. Jackie, but laughing. Dr. Jackie, you a trip. You mad at Toya, and listen to Heavenly, calling Curtis a pimp to his face. And he started bopping, y'all. I can't stand Curtis. So this party, a lot of the outfits were like Party City, that kind of stuff. Brandy showed up. She looked cute. Her husband did not really have, he was dressed kind of basic, but he's a younger man. They're in their 40s. We find out Brandy turns 42 during this episode. So they don't really know about what the looks were. Earlier, they had a couple of scenes where the ladies that may know a little bit about it were getting ready. And they were saying in the 70s, they think of flare pants. Dr. Jackie started talking about free love. And of course, they had the STDs to go along with it. You know, she's a buzz killer. Dr. Simone is around the age group, but not really. Like, not old enough in the 70s to party or anything like that. I'm a baby. I'm born in December of 1970. So I was a child during the end of the 70s, but more of an 80s kid. So that's kind of different. Eugene is saying, all I know, baby food. We see a throwback picture of Eugene with his dad. His dad had a fro. Eugene was a literal baby. He was like 2 or 3. He was born in 77. Curtis was enjoying himself. He was in his element, Sharon, with Dr. Jackie on one end and Dr. Heavenly on the other. You know, Curtis low-key loved himself some Heavenly. That's what got him in trouble again. He had his hand around Heavenly waist, and they found a way to blame it on Toya, who he pulled down in his lap. Paula saying goodbye to everyone. I don't care for or trust Curtis. He's not to be trusted. He's been busted, disgusted, and he can't be trusted. Trust S12. He cannot. So they come into the party. They show all the arrivals. King and Quad, as always, look good. They're a good-looking couple. They're always going to look good. There was a scene I forgot about King and Quad. I'll bring up later because I feel like it's going to be important for Quad in her future. Scott comes in with the girls. Her teen daughters are growing up so beautifully. The son, he's good looking as well. They arrive together with Contessa. Contessa's wearing a prom dress, Toya ends up calling it later, and like a long straight wig. Okay, Contessa. So they're partying. Everybody's partying. A large content creator was there. Married to Medicine does that. They kind of cultivate relationships with certain larger creators because they don't want the people to speak poorly about them. But it doesn't really work because they'll still speak badly about the cast, just not you. So I don't really like when they do that. Mama 59 works. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Everyone's still speaking to each other. So this party, this would look like a fun party to go to. And Dr. Contessa keeps doing confessionals saying, Scott better not try to take any credit for this party. This is my party, and I threw it the way I wanted to. She's trying to convince herself and us that she loves the fact that she had to do all this work for the party, and Toya had to show up and help. Brandy had to show up and help. Dr. Scott didn't have to show up and help. He's in their joint confessional, and they're a beautiful couple. They look good together, but they don't get along, y'all. I thought they were doing better. They don't get along. He's like, she's the boss. She know everything she wants. She does everything that she wants to do. And so I'll hang back and let her do it. And she's like, that's the way I live. That's what I want to do. You'll go back to Kiwanje identifying her as delusional. Contessa, you know you didn't like that. You are upset, and we're going to see it later. Contessa always disappoint with her fashion. Always. You are a bodybuilder, a thin bodybuilder. What her daughters call it, the guns. She's got the guns. She's thin. She's tall. Terrible. About the only thing she can do sometimes is shoes. Her shoes are cute. Like in this confessional, she's wearing stilettos. She got them legs greased. Contessa looks good, but when she comes in, it's not about her fashion at all. So the men are surrounding Dr. Eugene. He's telling them, I'm working at 5 different hospitals. Y'all, this man loves to work and brag on his family. I'm working at 5 different hospitals. All of them want me back. All the nurses are asking me to keep coming in. Here come Curtis and Cecil. Oh, the nurses? Curtis, what about the patients? Dr. Eugene knows where that's going. He's in a joint confessional with Toya. I guess production brought it up too. Toya said, what about these nurses? He's like, some of the nurses are male. Name one. I think his name was Paul. There are a lot of male nurses. I thought that was funny. So they are all just fellowshipping at the party. We see a lot of dancing, a lot of still shots. Dr. Jackie is in her element, y'all. Dr. Jackie looked good at this party. This was a pretty good theme. I just didn't like when they bring in like the pimp type thing. I'll tell you one other thing that annoyed me. When Dr. Contessa was explaining her theme to Toya, who is younger. Toya's in her 40s, and the party planner is even younger than that. They're blowing up all these balloons and stuff, gold, silver balloons. And she said, you know the movie Casino? Casino, y'all, with Robert De Niro and I forgot who else. I think it is a Martin Scorsese. My sister will know. She's a movie buff. You know the movie Casino? Sharon Stone. She said it was kind of based in the 70s. It's like that. So she bypasses a whole era of Black film. I won't call it blaxploitation because it turned into that later. But there's so many. When I think of 70s films, I would say, I mean, you wouldn't want to say Superfly, but if you're going to do that type theme, there are people, Richard Roundtree, Shaft, Casino. That's Contessa. This is why I get so annoyed with her. Casino. And that's why certain people feel like they came up with certain things and then they will submit it as their own. That is not where that genre came from. Casino. That's what the lady said. So let me not get on Contessa too much. I got more than enough for her later. So y'all, this is the scene that everybody's talking about. Even though the episode is called Players Ball, this is the scene. Dr. Simone's sons, Dr. Heavenly has called them lazy. I won't call them lazy because she has 2 sons that have graduated college. Congratulations to the Whitmore boys. Now, one is Michael. That's the younger one. Michael just turned 22, so he is young. He's got Simone's whole face and her demeanor. He's a smart aleck. Michael is a trip. Miles is the older one. I don't know his age. I feel like they're apart maybe 2 to 3 years. And Miles graduated at the same time as Michael. Less on that. I don't think Miles is as quick with it as Michael and Dr. Simone. I think he works really hard, but he has a college degree as well. I'm proud of both of them. So they treat Dr. Simone to dinner. This came up as well. She mentioned, I only spent $5,000 for my kid's graduation party because Toya has disclosed the conversation Contessa told her with Dr. Simone, that she spent $40,000. Another thing about that $40,000, you know that Contessa and Scott have bought a building, cash, and they are lagging and getting it up and running as far with the construction. They don't sound like it's payments, but it's the contractor and things like that. They want to lease an office space out of there to Toya and Eugene. So Toya says in a confession, I feel like she should take that $40,000 and get the building up and running so Eugene and I can move the office in there. Remember, Dr. Eugene's working 5 hours away. So that is the background of the whole scenario from before. The sons are treating Dr. Simone and Cecil to dinner. This is Simone's house. The boys are already there. So they are putting, it looked like some type of pasta. The pasta looked good, but y'all, this is what the son did. I believe it was the older one, Miles. Oh, Miles. He had a pan, one of those Reynolds aluminum pan. The Reynolds aluminum thing was still on the back of the pan. This boy takes the cooked food and pours it into that. He didn't wipe it down. He didn't wipe it out. He didn't pull the company name sticker off it and wash the pan. He took the pan out of the dollar store bag or wherever they got the pan, put the pan on the counter, and poured the cooked food into the pan. This is what he is going to eat, and they're going to serve their parents. So Simone and Cecil came in the house. They're looking around. Cecil was driving. They get there. And Simone says, oh, should we arrange for the food? 22 and 25 or 6 years old, y'all. Simone comes home and feel like she already got to arrange dinner. The son, Michael, little Simone, he said, no, we got that. We got y'all. Cecil and Simone are shocked. Food, y'all got food? You got food for us? They are so happy, y'all. Cecil's so proud of his sons. They sit down. Look like they had one of those good little, like, maybe a broccoli, a white cheese type pizza with it. So we didn't see salad or anything like that. They sit down. Michael was mixing up a drink. So that's one thing Cecil did teach him, because the drink looked really good, like a margarita. He had the shaker, y'all. They had a bar shaker. He was shaking that drink. And he poured Simone and Cecil a drink. So they sit down. They start to eat their food. Everything is going nice. They have a family dinner. The son said, this is kind of like your family. This is kind of like your graduation dinner. You threw us a party. This is your graduation party. Let me see what Cece says before I get started. So the boys were not taught any home life skills, not cleaning the pan and taking the labels off. It's gross. And Cece, I threw back to them last week. I can't remember what I was talking about, but Cecil and Simone's sons, grown adult men, came up, and it came up that one of Simone and Cecil's investments, remember Cecil is a realtor, and he does handle their real estate investments. Simone brought that up at BravoCon, because a lot of people say Cecil doesn't work. Cecil has things that he does. He is still a licensed realtor, but we do see him being a house husband. Dr. Simone also has a portfolio of homes that includes, they call it the North House and the South House, but they have the condo for the sons in that portfolio. There was a scene last year where Cecil and Simone showed up. Look at Cece's post about life skills, not taught any home life skills. These two parents showed up to these grown adult children apartment. We don't want to hear nothing about teens. One is 22, one is 25 or 6. Showed up in hazmat suits, the little white suits you get at Home Depot, to clean up this boy's place. The kitchen was so nasty. The garbage was full. So Simone and Cecil knew it was going to be like that. What's the first thing parents tell a boy? Take the garbage out. Toya was telling one of her little boys, I got to teach you how to take the garbage out, because he has the littlest bag trying to consolidate the trash. But Toya and Dr. Eugene's boys are going to be totally different than Miles and Michael. We could see it now. Or being and be over there cooking. And I'm sorry, y'all, Ashton, somebody tell me that Avery and Ashton, they be over there cooking. Dr. Eugene and Toya are training up their sons differently. One interrupted Toya the other week, and she said, let me tell you about women. And Dr. Eugene said, I was just getting ready to tell her. So Cece's right. No home life skills. This is their graduation dinner. Simone says, well, when you finish college, I'm looking forward to financial freedom. This boy, Miles is just eating his food. I like Miles. He says, I had this Jeep, and when I first got the Jeep, it was super cool. Now we're getting on a stage where it's kind of not being so cool. I'm tired of looking at it. You're tired of looking at it. Cecil's just sitting there eating, drinking. Simone is looking at him. Now, we only know Dr. Simone through the TV. The look Dr. Simone was giving Michael, I would have shut up and kept eating my food. He kept talking. Dr. Simone says, well, let's see if you can come up with some kind of plan to start making some payments. So Dr. Simone, y'all didn't buy that Jeep outright. You're making payment. So he's probably not even paying the insurance. Y'all, this is how the conversation went. Michael says to Simone, she said, well, let me get my iPad and I'm going to do a budget and we'll look at whether you can make payments. But there's one thing I want to cover from last year, so 2024. He said, before you get that iPad, make sure the iPad don't tell you something that'll have me giving the dogs your food. This was dog food anyway, CC, when they put it in that dirty dish. Make sure you don't come up with something on that iPad that'll have the dogs eating your food. This is what Michael said to his mother. Simone gets up from the table. So Simone says, we get the confessional. She wants to move forward financially, pulls out the iPad, pulls out the Chase bill. This ninja, Michael, she said, you have spent $60,000 alone in the past year on the Chase card. Chase, y'all give Dr. Simone a zero interest and some kind of black card or something, because the way she kept saying y'all's name, and try to do some type budgeting thing or something. Kiwan J, remember that Nancy Kitchen in the hazmat suits? Yeah, no life skills at all. Dear Yvette, good morning, chat and mods. Welcome in, dear Yvette. Good morning, Sandra. I'm glad to see you during the live. Thank you so much for coming in. Sharon speaking to everyone, as well as Cece, and dear Yvette is speaking back. Y'all, this dinner turned out to be a mess. Poor Simone here with the iPad. She's just trying to eat her food. $60,000. $60,000. Y'all, that did something to me, because when I was in my 30s, I had a job with a financial services company, and our team was very underpaid. And my raise, remember, now I was in my late 30s, I'm mid 50s now, I'll be 55 at the end of this year. I was like, can I at least make double my age? I wasn't even at 60,000. Okay. This boy spent $60,000 on Dr. Simone's Chase card in 1 year. And now he's talking about the Jeep is not cool anymore. He wants a new car. So this was a trip. Dr. Simone and Cecil had failed these two. So she pulled out the Chase bill. He spent over $60,000. He don't want to talk about that. He wants the new car. So I forgot how the argument started. Oh, Simone asked him, and what was your plan toward law school? He wants to go to law school. This is what he says. I never saw any type interest or anything mentioned about law school in Michael. I think he's looking at schools that may take a long time where he can still be supported financially by Cecil and Simone. What do y'all think about that? That's the first I heard about law school from this boy. Did you see the updates? I saw some of them. I'm going to cover them. My sister says, I have no words, but they only do what you allow them to, shaking my head. This is a part, this is going to factor in too. They only do what you allow them to. You see how Miles was sitting there. The boys are terrible. She's tired of it. It might be too late to be corrected. Dear Yvette, without really severe action, I think it might be a little too late to be changed. 22 years old and 25 or 6. So he wants to go to law school. She said, well, what's your plan for that? He said, well, I have a mother. Cecil sitting right there. There's his dad. Your dad's in the home, boy. He said, my mother does pretty well. She said, I'm the only one. She started getting into, she does this and she's activated. I'm the only one that has a graduate, doctorate degree, and I got it by loans, scholarships. This boy sits there and says, your mother wasn't able to do that for you. I have a mother that's able to do that for me. You have it. You could do that for us. And what about white kids who parents put them through school with no debt and they end up coming out millionaires? That's Simone said. What about white kids who get put through school, no debt, and then they get out, and she looks at him and looks at Miles, and they still don't do ish. That's what Dr. Simone said. Cecil is quiet. He's drinking and eating. Then he says, Michael has a point. He didn't side with his wife, y'all. He says, well, Michael has a point. We're blessed. Okay, he starts almost singing for him. And we're blessed in the city. I'm like, see, I'm looking at Cecil at my TV like this. I said, what? That man said, we're blessed. Y'all, Simone started going crazy. I'm going to read a little bit of comments. Lord, not the label in the pen. Mom 59 is behind and shaking her head. Y'all, she's a clean freak. This is my sister. This would have sent her. She would have had to sit down. If she was cooking for everybody and this happened, she would have had to sit down, and we would have had to save that pasta from the garbage, y'all. She just saw that. Dear Yvette, that one hit in the gut, little punk. I hate talking, we don't talk about the kid, 22-year-old man, 25 or 6-year-old man. So we're going to talk about him this morning, y'all. We're going to talk about him. That's why I limited the recap review, because mainly we're doing scenes, 2 very important scenes. Michael would have been flying across the room, and you wouldn't have been wrong, Kiwan J. And when I tell y'all some of the updates, some of you will be shocked, some will not. Agree with all of the above. Didn't hit send. Annoying to see the bad training and upbringing. It's heartbreaking, Mama 59 works. It is, just to see it. And he is so blessed. College, no debt. And they should be made to get out to work now. LOL, I'm watching tonight. I still like Cecil, though. I like Cecil as well. This is why I was so disappointed in him. I've been really disappointed in Cecil. So Dr. Simone starts going off about white people, this, that, and the other, with their kids. Because I don't know where Michael was coming from with that point. It was a stupid point. Cecil's picked up the little ninja's point. Dr. Simone says, because now he's talking about, and we are blessed. We'll be able to help support him, because Miles hadn't said anything. Miles is like this. And his plate is clean, y'all. Miles sat there, ate his food, and his plate is clean. Dr. Simone said, what if by the time he get through law school, I'm not even here, I'm dead? And y'all, I'm being like kind of reserved. I'm in the house alone. I can be as loud as I want, but I don't have the capacity here to do what Dr. Simone does. And y'all know how little Simone is, but she projects. She's screaming. She's leaped up. She's doing all of that. She's having a fit, y'all. So she said, what if she's dead for law school? Cecil had the nerve to say, well, that could happen because God could take you. Y'all, I was undone just watching Dr. Simone go through this. She said, would anybody care about that if that happened? I feel like I heard Miles say, me. But he's kind of being ignored because Michael's, he's not facing Simone now. They're at the table, but he's like turned to the side. And Cecil and Simone are sitting there. They're getting ready to start going into it. Simone is screaming at the top of her lungs. Cece is still picking up the little ninja's point about we are blessed and all this kind of stuff. Dr. Simone's going crazy. Miles is sitting there. The dog didn't come back in there. We saw the dog earlier eating out of one of the pans. The dog didn't come back in there. Even with the thread up, I'm going to give you my mother's food. He didn't come back in there. Y'all, this was crazy. Y'all, I really did feel bad for Simone. I did too. I was concerned she was going to literally blow a gasket. Blood pressure and all that is real. She was screaming. I think there was a cameraman in the shot that I saw it, because when she jumped up and leaped up, she started walking away. She said, y'all don't care nothing about me. She said, F this. She said, I don't owe you nothing from here on out. Michael said, I'm not talking about this no more. He brought it up. He said he was giving them a graduation dinner to congratulate them for helping him. He brought it up, but now he don't want to talk about it no more. Simone's going crazy. She told Cecil, and don't you try to speak for me. You can't speak for me. She said, you don't never support nothing I do. We get a confessional from Simone where she's saying, I'm tired of being, I think she meant odd man out, but she said, I'm tired of being the lone man in a group of three. So remember, I see Toya as being the queen of her castle. Toya's surrounded by boys, male energy as well. Toya has 2 sons and Dr. Eugene. Her experience is totally different than poor Dr. Simone. I'm like Kiwan J. I felt sorry for Dr. Simone. Cecil did not stand with her. That the husband and wife, that is the unit, and the children from that unit, they have to stand together. Cecil standing with Michael, picking up this little ninja's point, and he had no point. Now he's trying to close the conversation. Simone said, I don't care, when he said he's finished with the conversation. She's jumped up, cussed everybody out, except Miles and the dog. F this one, F that one. Something else she said. What if she's dead before law school? He's finished with the conversation. Cecil said God could take her out by then. And she said, I don't owe you nothing else from here. He said, I'm done. She said, boy, if you done, be done. I'm done. So, y'all, this was a mess. This was terrible. I'm going to read some more comments. I have my notes, but I'll see if it triggers what I meant to say and just forgot. Sharon says, Dr. Simone had no support from anyone. That scene was heartbreaking. Y'all, it was. Just as a Black woman, for us to see that and watch what we go through. And Dr. Simone, I get on Dr. Simone. She's exceptional in every way. Dr. Simone, she brought out the fact. She put herself through school, y'all. Scholarships, loans. She is a doctor, one of the preeminent doctors, OBGYNs, and we need that for Black women. She's an OBGYN in Atlanta, y'all. And this little ninja sitting there talking about his Jeep is not, that's not cool no more. He want another car. And when I tell y'all the update, some of y'all is going to go crazy. So I'll be reading these comments. I don't believe Cecil likes Simone. It takes up for everyone but her. He took up for Quad, his kids, Tammy, everyone but her. Mama B's, I hate to say it. I used to love these two as a couple. I cringe when I see them now. This is all true. He does like Quad. Quad is his little sis. When she was feuding with Simone, Cecil tries to play the peacemaker, but he puts together some kind of meeting because Quad is his little sis and he wants the wife to be friends. And I remember Simone launching off then. Don't bring me around nobody I don't effing like. And she was right. But Cecil does do this. I think he kind of resents her that she is wearing the pants And the parents shouldn't just be financial, but she said, she mentioned in her confessional, I'm tired of playing the bad cop because Cecil doesn't want the boys to be angry at him. She loves her sons too, but what Cecil is doing is wrong. I'm sorry. Tammy, for those of y'all that do not know, Cecil had a long-term emotional relationship with a woman named Tammy. She was a golf buddy. You know, Simone has the two homes, the North home and the South home. She works between her offices in them, stays a lot of time at one of the homes. The boys have their own condo. Tammy was allowed to stay in one at one point, didn't want to leave. And then she and Simone fell out. I guess Tammy had to leave. And this was a sticking point. Dr. Simone wanted a divorce. This was on the reunion. Those of us that are long-term watchers, she wanted a divorce. I love the fact that this attack, this cast generally won't attack a marriage. Generally, that's changing. But they generally won't attack a marriage. But I don't like the fact that they kind of strong arm. Dr. Simone was gone. She wanted a divorce from Cecil over Tammy. Cecil was sitting on the stage crying over Tammy, his friend, crying over a woman, okay? I don't know that they had any other relationship other than emotional, but that was bad enough for me. I would have filed then. So I remember Andy Cohen say, this is the realest ish I ever saw, because Dr. Simone was out the door. Dr. Heavenly surrounded her, even Quad. Who else? Dr. Jackie, of course, wants her in the same bitterness that she's in. They convinced Dr. Simone to stay with Cecil. This was about 5 or 6 years ago, y'all. Dr. Simone, her blood pressure probably would be at a different place. They convinced her to stay in this marriage. And you know what they use? Longevity. Y'all been together too long. You've been together too long. Put the phrasing correctly. You've been together too long. But Mama Bees is making a correct point. I have to agree. Sharon Gobble agreed with Mama Bees as well. They disregard her feelings and how she show up, especially Cecil. Yes. Oh, yeah. Look at this. This is Michael dismissed her like he was the parent. Dear Yvette, Cecil has many lines of work. I don't know how many are income producing. He does. They bill him as a realtor again this year. I was at BravoCon. One of the content creators, Alexander Rogers, stood up and said, is she still upset with Cecil? Is he managing their funds after the Kids Force? He had a Kids Force app. It was something about a sports app for kids that Simone famously invested a lot of money in that failed. So as far as what he does for work, he's a licensed realtor. She stood up and told Alexander Rogers, he's not in charge of my finances, but he handles the real estate portfolio for the house. So I don't know how much money comes in on that. The sons are not paying any rent. The North house and South house, she's covering those expenses. So as far as money, income coming in, as my mother used to call it, income coming in, I don't know what Cecil actually does. So y'all, this is why this scene, there's so many layers to this scene. So sorry, Dr. Contessa, the Players Ball, this is not your episode. This is Dr. Simone and the Whitmores. Simone should have left Cecil then instead of listening to the ladies. I agree, Kiwan J. I think you stay out of people's marriage, especially when the only defense you have is y'all been together too long. Simone's a young woman. Simone is 58 years old. This was 5 years ago. She was in her early to mid 50s. No. Right. I don't think that Simone forgave him for that. I don't either. She's very resentful, and rightfully so. And Michael's very entitled. That was another thing. She yelled at him. You are so effing entitled. And then she told Cecil, then you don't never stand for me. That was a point Sharon just made, that they don't ever stand for her. Cecil doesn't ever stand with her against the boys. And Cecil's kind of surprised now. Where is this coming from? She said, from my heart. And it was coming from her heart, coming from her gut. She was screaming from her soul, y'all. She got up from the table. I think when she was moving down the hall, I saw a cameraman in the shot trying to get out the way. Y'all, this was terrible. Mama B said they should have just let them divorce. Yes, stay out of people's marriages. Somebody, you've been in it too long. Yeah, they've been in it too long. That's the problem. Y'all, I think the whole group just gives me they would swing. Just saying, I'm sorry. Dear Yvette, the way everybody's tired of each other in some of these group trips, watch my review. I think it was last week when I showed Curtis pull Toya down in his lap. Curtis was trying to get something going. He really was. And people say all kind of stuff about Dr. Jackie and Simone too. I don't believe that, but nothing would shock me. Sharon Gabo said, parents sometimes stay together for the kids, but these are grown men. These are grown men. And see, so as far as him trying to melt into the role of another child, because he admires the boys and having their own condo and being able to do what they want to do. Cecil seemed like he moved from his mama's house into Dr. Simone's. That was something Dr. Simone said earlier in the episode. You have to teach a man how to treat you, which is why I'm surprised why she allowed herself to be talked into staying. She said the first Mother's Day, she was breastfeeding the baby. Cecil didn't give her a Mother's Day card. I bet he gave his mama one. He didn't give Dr. Simone one. So she probably shouted down the house, and then things go back to normal because that's what she does. So I'm kind of upset with Dr. Simone. She should have told Michael that he spent his law school money on eating out and girls and all this kind of stuff. But Kiwanje mentioned updates. I'll give you a few. I saw an IG post, Instagram post, Michael, Miles, two beautiful Black girls, somebody's daughter, y'all, in a picture, just a grinning, next to Dr. Simone and Cecil on vacation, okay? So these ninjas have girlfriends. So when they swipe that card that Dr. Simone pays for, they have girlfriends. So somebody's daughter actually think they got a good catch. Y'all, I can't say. And then I was watching Watch What Happened in Live on and off because Andy Cohen puts me to sleep. Michael was in the audience. He was on live the other night. Me and my mother went to New York. We had a ball. She brought this little ninja with her to New York and treated him. And Andy Cohen was like, young Michael, did you realize you kind of was having the wrong conversation? They were trying to make light of it. But y'all, this scene was so serious, and I'm glad it's gone in so many different directions. Y'all can't make light of this. He was on live again talking about my mom and I are cool. Everybody were cool. There was Simone and Miles in a shot. I guess they were in the house that she be at. Cecil was alone. Michael was either in another room or alone or at the condo. Me and my mom are fine. We just had a ball in New York, and I got my Tesla. Simone sitting up grinning. Don't do that. Don't do that. So she don't want us to know, okay? Dr. Simone, we can't do nothing about you buying this little ninja a Tesla. Buy a Tesla, pay for law school. She says that now he wants to go to graduate school. So I guess he figured out he can go, law school's only 3 years. He can get 2 years for graduate school, and then he can extend it to a doctorate or something and get 2 to 3 more years. So Dr. Simone, you just keep paying. You keep yelling, paying. Michael, go ahead and spend 75 or 80 or 100, 2026. So spare no expense. Because y'all, we're more upset than she is. I couldn't believe it when she said that. Don't do that. Like she's trying to keep it secret that she done bought this little ninja a Tesla. And he had a perfectly good Jeep. Parents sometimes stay together for the kids. These are grown men. Okay, I agree. Michael got a new Tesla. Dear Yvette is saying what we saw in that live, got a new Tesla. And Simone didn't want nobody to know. Baby, they see him driving around Atlanta in that Tesla with his little girlfriend, and you paying for all these trips and then screaming at the top of your lungs. Did Dr. Jackie, did she call and check on her friend? She worried about somebody else's thyroid. Did you check on your friend and her blood pressure after she got financially abused by 3 men and a dog? I'm going to put the dog in it too. 3 men and a dog in that house and screamed to the top of her lungs. Dr. Heavenly was on Carlos King the other night, y'all. She's friend of, but her mouth is still working. She said, you know how production talk to everybody and they let you know what's going on? That scene was worse than we saw. So she said, Simone cussed everybody out. F you, F you, F you, F you, F you. Ran down the hall, was going crazy. I would have, I'm like Kiwan J, I would have launched little Michael. I would have put hands on him. Cecil would have broke that up. She said he was accepted to law school, and she said he still isn't willing to talk about a budget. So Dr. Simone, you get what you get, and you don't pitch a fit, like my niece's soccer coach used to say. If you like it, we have to love it. We can't be more upset than Dr. Simone. So he's unwilling to discuss a budget. Okay. What needs to happen is Michael needs to be out in one of those little restaurants in Atlanta with the grass wall, tricking on his girlfriend, everybody ordering drinks or whatever, setting up a tab. And when they swipe that card, they tell that little ninja, it doesn't work. Denied. Go in the kitchen and wash some dishes, or we're calling the police. So that's what needs to happen. You don't have to discuss the budget with me. I'm tired of it. You don't have to discuss the budget with me no more. So that P1J is referring to a lot of the updates that are happening. Watch What Happens Live being one, Dr. Heavenly over there with College King being another one, and the Whitmore family doing all of these lives, trying to put the genie back in the bottle. Michael saying he and his mom are fine. She lets Dr. Heavenly know that they didn't speak to each other for maybe 3 weeks after that. So Michael was giving her the silent treatment, upon which none of the authorized users cards would have worked, because I don't play like that. The silent treatment is a relief to me. Your rejection is my protection. Thank you so much. I've had people put me on silent treatment. Honey, you think I care? I say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Dear Yvette, Simone and Nell are the same enablers. Oh, the Fletchers? Is she? Oh, she's over there doing that. I stopped watching that show when Melody left, but I know exactly who you're talking about. Y'all, there is this Carlos King produced show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. And Nell Fletcher works like a dog. She has her own franchised daycares, and she's taking care of grown people, upwards in their 30s, y'all. Kiwan J TV. I still feel bad for her. LOL. I'm a sucker, y'all. That woman was in pain. She was. I felt sorry for her too. And I want to say, oh, if you like it, I love it, and be flip about it. But I appreciate her starting that conversation, even though they're not really ready to finish the conversation. She is not ready to change her behavior. The boys have no incentive to change their behavior. Michael getting a new Tesla, and Miles sitting there just being like, me, I care. And he's in the room with Dr. Simone. He's the older one, so she gonna have to get him a new car. He's honestly the only one that I'll be doing anything for and taking care of. I really appreciate what he's done to kind of, I don't think he has it easy, y'all. Y'all know I'm from a big family. I have a lot of cousins, a lot of brothers and sisters. I'm number 7 out of 8 kids, one heavenly brother. But I'm thinking of a pair of cousins. My sisters will know who I'm talking about. One of them is quick, and really bright. She didn't really care about school. And the other one loved school and everything involved with it and was a sports superstar. She can't really take any tests. So one of them took the other one's entrance exam. This was back in the day. And she was in classes that she couldn't do the work. But because she was a sports superstar, they made it work. And they literally to the level of where they retired her jersey. My niece and my sister will know exactly who I'm talking about. So I feel for Miles. I think something went on there where they graduated at the same time. And there's like a 2 to 3 year age difference. So that's crazy. So I'm with Kiwan J. I feel for Dr. Simone, but it's got to be a circumstance where, not speaking this on them, in other families, things happen where maybe the breadwinner does get ill or something, because she's like, God could take you. I don't understand it, y'all. What is it going to take for these men to see that this woman needs some help? Y'all, this is crazy. My sister's laughing. Of course I know. And then talk junk. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to do your work. Like, you got into school, you do it. Yeah, that was so funny. But Miles and Michael are along that same boat. I don't know that Miles is like that quick with it, but he's more emotionally mature. He knew not to sit up and talk crazy to his mother like that, and Michael didn't know. So the next scene, we have Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone arrive first. And the comments, y'all know you can put whatever you want in there, and I'll go back. We'll restart the conversation, okay? So Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone, they discuss what went on. Dr. Simone, they both look pretty. They're showing up. We find out it is Brandy's birthday dinner. So they look pretty. They sit down. Dr. Heavenly orders her drink. No Shirley Temple, y'all. She got a dirty Shirley, so she wanted a little liquor in hers. So Simone's talking about, I just had an argument with Michael. He wants me to pay for law school. That was the plan he had. And I don't think I'm going to do it. Dr. Heavenly was like, I don't think you should do it. Now, I think Dr. Heavenly does cover her kids' school. And I know Alora she left school. She was down at Florida State, but she's being a social influencer or something. But at one point, she was heavily involved in another business that they had. They had a lucrative hair business, hair store. They've closed that down. But her children, they do different businesses. Damon Jr., he's involved. There was some kind of trouble at school. I don't know, something with the police, campus police. So I hope he gets out of that, y'all. The only thing I don't mind about that is the cast throwing it up in Heavenly's face, because Dr. Heavenly has a YouTube channel, not lately because she's running for state rep in Georgia, but she used to really talk poorly about all of her cast members, go among different shows and talk about their cast members. And she was really reckless with her mouth. And she's still kind of doing it, but not as bad. So They are talking, and Dr. Simone says, I just need a break from anybody with the last name Whitlow. Is it Whitlow or Whitmore? She needs a break from her family. So that's Cecil and the two boys, especially Michael. Brandy arrives in a gold dress. She starts twirling. Y'all know Brandy is my girl. She's one of the new nurse practitioners. She looked really pretty. She's got her hair literally down. She starts twirling around Heavenly. Heavenly's like, oh, how old are you now? I'm 42. Do I look it? She's very youthful looked, figure, everything. She looks good. So Dr. Heavenly wants to get started, y'all. So, and Dr. Brandy said, my husband is going to treat me. And he said, take all your girls to dinner. Now, y'all know Brandy has 4 children, 4 little kids under the age of 6. Okay. So Shamar has given the credit card, have this space. All your girls come there, have dinner, drinks on him. Dr. Heavenly stresses. So your husband did this for you, but Dr. Scott didn't do that for Dr. Contessa? And she waits for the answer. Dr. Heavenly, you know that Dr. Scott didn't do anything for Dr. Contessa. She's been yelling about it for years. So Brandy says, he did. Dr. Heavenly said, do you think you should tone it down? Brandy said, no, I'm not going to tone it down. My husband's good. I can't tone it down about my husband. So we already know where this is going because Contessa and them didn't arrive yet. So Dr. Jackie comes in. She looks great. Dr. Mimi comes in a little underdressed. Her stomach is out. Dr. Mimi. Angel and Quad show up. They are both looking gorgeous. I haven't seen them look bad. Quad is wearing her little short, the little pencil or Marcel finger waves, and they're blonde, y'all. Okay, Quad. So Toya comes in. She's wearing something. She's name brand down, but it looked casual to me. Those name brands mean something to Toya. It'll come up later. I don't really care about it. I couldn't tell you what it was. It looked like a bedazzled t-shirt. And Toya would have a fit if she heard her outfit described as that. But it was a bedazzled t-shirt. She said, I can't lean down in her because my skirt is short and a little tiny leather skirt. Trish still can't stand Heavenly. I know when she's right, I give it to her. But most of the time, she's dead wrong. Heavenly will never change. She's just messy. That's what Sharon Galbo said. You see how she set up the scene and getting it started? And now Brandy's just twirling in her gold dress and just loving on and happy about her husband. That she's not back home with these 4 kids. So true. Dr. Yvette said Quad is another snake. Oh, Quad, another shake and go wave cap. Excuse me, Quad. Didn't nobody call you a snake? Quad, another shake and go wave cap. Yeah, she liked to switch up the little hairstyles. I love Quad's hairstyle. The short hair looked good on her. It looked good on her. She could wear it. Even the color. So Toya actually was underdressed, except she let him know how much it cost. Toya, bring the receipt. So she sits down, and Mimi was casual as well. So she says, don't y'all feel underdressed? And she is gesturing toward Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly, and I guess Simone. So here she goes. She gets started. Dr. Jackie said, I don't feel underdressed. She said, sometimes the professional ladies have somewhere to go after this. We can't just dress up for a party. But Dr. Jackie looked beautiful. All of the ladies looked nice. The ones most underdressed were Toya and Dr. Mimi. So Toya starts that. We get a confessional from Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Jackie said, this brand name beer, she feel like if you're not in Prada or Gucci or something, that you're not dressed. She said, you better go to Zara. So that's what Dr. Jackie said in her confessional. But then at the table, Dr. Jackie was saying kind of the same thing to Toya. And then Toya can't really go toe-to-toe verbally with Dr. Jackie. She really can't. I don't like Dr. Jackie, but I don't mind her doing this kind of thing. This is better than a thyroid thing or Buffy, you are infertile. This is about clothes. So we'll laugh at this. I love Angel's facial expression. Angel don't know what to make of this group yet, dear Yvette. She was sitting there like, ooh. Because Toya literally just sat down and started picking at Jackie. And Dr. Jackie wasn't bothering anyone. So I'm going to side with her on this. She said professional ladies have somewhere else to go. We can't always dress for a party. Even though they were dressed for dinner, they looked really nice. And Toya said, are you saying that the other ladies, she's trying to include the other people with her, even though they didn't say anything. You saying that these other ladies are not professionals? Dr. Jackie said, no, I'm saying you are not professional. So here you go, Toya, you put yourself on display. Toya said, well, if I had to be me or be you, I'd rather be me. And Dr. Jackie said, and I would rather be me. I wouldn't want to be you. The angel's like, she said the shade has started already. Brandy said, let's bring the conversation back around to me. My people are on the phone. They all want to say hello. Y'all, Shamar is on the phone, surrounded by 4 little kids in pajamas. They're like, hey, Mom. Hi, happy birthday. And she's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, to each and every one of them individually. Y'all, Contessa is sitting over there. She gained full 5 to 10 pounds with her expression. She is so angry. She was so mad. She's like, how many times do we have to say thank you? I'm going to put up what Mama B said, and then I'll go back to what they were talking about after the Jackie Toya thing. So Contessa was wrong. I would have asked her politely leave, calling the party underwhelming. Thank you, Mama B's. Mama B set it up. So the little kids are saying goodbye and happy birthday. And Brandy said, these are my friends and all that. And Dr. Heavenly's like, oh, yeah, thank you. You saying I can get all these shots. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So they were kind of just bigging up Brandy. It's her birthday. And Brandy said, let's bring it back to me for a few minutes. Toya said, let's bring it back to you for the night. It's your birthday. So here go Contessa. And Brandy's like, okay, we're going to bring dinner out and let's bless the food. Can we say prayer? Can we say grace to God? Or do we have to thank your husband for bringing out, his credit card or what? She said, I know you're a little bit in your feelings because your husband didn't do this for you. Yeah, I couldn't believe Contessa came from out of left field with that. So Brandy said, because your husband didn't do this for you, but I can brag on my husband. He's a good man. I appreciate him doing all of this. And all the ladies were saying thank you to Shamar too, especially Dr. Heavenly, y'all. She was just a cackling. When Contessa made that remark, do we have to say thank you to the husbands because y'all are bigging up the husband for a lot of basic ish? Now, the only one that said thank you to their husband was Brandy because Shamar allowed y'all to sit here and have dinner and drinks on him. And he's home with 4 kids under the age of 6. So, of course, Brandy's happy. Contessa's mad. And Mama B says what I would have done. I would have asked her to leave. And Dr. Contessa is going too far. It's not like we're at a big restaurant. Is this an expensive restaurant? We're in a strip mall. Quiet and Angel looking at each other like, whoop. And Toya said, okay, you're going a little too far. You're just mad that Scott didn't do this for you. We get a confessional with, it was Dr. Simone cackling. She said, she is still mad. She's still mad that Dr. Scott, he was tired after he put on that wig and that pimp suit. He was tired. He didn't do nothing else. The conversation that they had, this was right before Brandy's phone call. I'm sorry, y'all, but I didn't put it in my notes, and what Mama B said triggered it. The conversation that they had was that Contessa said, she's trying to compare this dinner, this girl's dinner, to her birthday party. The thing about a birthday party is a big birthday party, the biggest, best birthday party you've ever seen. Again, delusional. A thing about it, you don't get to hug everyone and say hi to everyone. I cooked dinner at my house for 10 hours from 9 to 7 the next day. And Dr. Mimi said, wait, you cooked dinner for yourself and people the next day? Yes, and I had people over. She wants to get patted on the back. We're still at Brandy's birthday dinner, and she's bragging about herself and what she did, not knowing that she looks stupid. And so Dr. Mimi said, you did all that the day after your birthday? And they said, where was Scott? He was outside smoking a cigar. Scott don't give a doggone. Dr. Scott don't care, y'all. He don't care. So that is another reason why Contessa was mad. So she says, well, I don't have to have a man do something for me. I got my own money. I make as much money as him. Now, remember, she was the one crying to Toya, crying to Dr. Heavenly, crying to Brandy even that Dr. Scott wasn't doing anything for her birthday. Now she's sitting up mad that Shamar has allowed Brandy to host this dinner and not pay anything. So she's, I cooked dinner. I walked to school uphill both ways in the snow. She's doing that. She cooked dinner and says, I can take care of what I want for myself. And Toya said, well, sometimes somebody needs to take care of you. So they would show her a little compassion, but she started being nasty to Brandy. So that's when Brandy brought the conversation back to her, panned the phone around. And when she got off the phone, y'all, Contessa was still picking at her. And that's why Mama B says Contessa was wrong. I would have asked her to politely leave the party, calling the party underwhelming. Brandy said, this is a birthday dinner. It's not a party. And Dr. Contessa saying that was the best birthday party you'd ever been to. Y'all, she thinking because she spent $40,000, it was the best they'd ever been to. Quad is sitting there laughing behind her hand, as is Angel. These two ladies, let me tell you, they get invited to parties, okay? Quad goes to places like Dubai and party. So for Contessa to say that was comical, that she had this party in Atlanta because then people picked her pockets for $40,000. That's the best party that any of them have ever been to. Dr. Jackie goes to the White House. Dr. Simone has been there. Dr. Heavenly's been +1. This is the best party they've ever seen. I've been to better parties than that, Contessa. I'm off on a tangent, y'all, but I got really disgusted. Yes, Kiwan J. Contessa is a passive-aggressive hater. Let me go. We'll go back and I'll read all the comments. Troy 6, I don't blame Dr. Jackie. No, she set Toya right back. She pushed Toya back on her heels. Just because you got Prada, Gucci, Lucci, and all this all over your outfit, it doesn't mean you're best dressed. You just spent the most on your clothes. Because I thought Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly looked very nice. So Contessa is a passive-aggressive hater. Contessa should have left Scott a long time ago. He seems to be not in the present moment. No, he has a workhorse and a martyr, and he loves it. It was the 40 grand for me. Me too, dear Yvette. And do you know what he did in one of their joint confessionals? Let me go back to the party, because you're saying Contessa should have left Scott a long time ago. He seems to be not in the present moment. When he stood up in that pimp suit and that wig with the hat on, he said, let me tell you something about my wife. This is her party. She's done a lot to get it together. Toya was in the audience, was like, she did everything to get it together. And the kids were surrounding him. He said, I want to give a little credit to my wife. I used to watch movies with my late mother. He giving more love to his deceased mother than he is his wife. I used to watch movies with my late mother. And she said, you know, you need to keep her. She's like Rose from the Titanic. She'll get back on the ship and get you. Remember, Rose got back, went through the halls running around looking for Jack. And then they finally got off together on that little lifeboat or whatever. But he gave her the whistle and then he floated down. So y'all, Scott knows that he has a fool in Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa knows it too, and she's mad about it. And he's not in the present. And I'm sorry, it looked like he might have something else going on because he's very disinterested in this woman. He is. Contessa and her lazy husband are gutter snipe. He's a doctor as well. He's very smart. He's just not killing himself like Contessa. He told us one episode, I got off at 4:00 today. I was home by 4:30. And she was still sitting here charting, wanting congratulations from him. Oh, must be nice to be you. That's something that the man usually do. No, that's not something that the man usually does. That's what the breadwinner does. Both y'all are bringing in money. He's managing his time differently. So I just have to say that was a waste of $40,000. I didn't see it. She could have did that for $5,000 or $10,000. Evidently, they had some kind of big name entertainment, but it was a rapper or somebody, so I don't know who it was. But he put most of that in his pocket because I don't see what she spent $40,000 on. You had to bring your own 70s uniform. So what are they talking about? Or costume? Davette was laughing. Mom 59 work. Seemed like Contessa was sipping on some serious haterade, old poor thing. And she's young too. She's only 49 years old. She's mad because Brandy is 42 and has a husband and 4 children that love her, sponsored this birthday dinner, not a birthday party. And then she screamed, it's no comparison. She was the only one comparing. And I forgot when Brandy showed up early for her because Dr. Scott was not helping her. She told Brandy, let me tell you something. I've been married 20 years. Y'all stop taking advice from these long-term married people unless they're telling you to get up out of there. And that's not for everybody, just the ones, if you know, you know. She said, don't let your husband, the way he start out is the way he'll finish and this, that, and the other. So Brandy was just like taking it in, but not really listening. And she says, well, maybe Scott won't show up empty-handed. Brandy, you're wrong. Brandy showed up, honey, in his pimp suit, as Simone called it, the hat, the hair, and he made that little speech about his mama, and he made Dr. Contessa look like a zip dang fool at her party. I'm sorry. He did. I'm not sure who said it, but these two people hate each other. I hate to see it, Kiwan J. I thought they were getting along better. I do. Excuse me, y'all. My throat is doing something. So I have tea that I'm sipping on, honey and lemon and ginger. Kiwan J said, okay, I just read that. these two people hate each other. I hope not. Why would you stay in a marriage like that, y'all? That is crazy. Then he asked her, did she get the ice cream? I was done. Yeah, she was doing all that running around for her party. It's like, did you get the ice cream? Because he gets home before her. Ninja, if you want ice cream, why didn't you bring it? I didn't like that at all. So they're back at the dinner. Dr. Contessa is screaming at the top of her lungs. And Mama B feels like I would have asked her to leave. So Toya, everyone is trying to defend Brandy. Brandy, she's getting good, y'all. She don't mind defending herself. So Brandy was she was squaring up a little bit with Contessa. Contessa was yelling. All of the ladies realized, y'all, we get a confession from Dr. Heavenly laughing. Now, Dr. Heavenly started this whole thing when Dr. Contessa made that rook. First, she set Brandy up on the way in about, oh, Dr. Scott didn't do this for Contessa, but your husband did it for you. And then at the table where Dr. Contessa made that rude comment about, we got to pray to the husbands. And Dr. Heavenly pulled out her witchy laugh. And she was the only one laughing. So, y'all, that comment was not funny. And Contessa thought she did something, and her and Dr. Heavenly bumped hands. We get a confessional from Dr. Heavenly going, yeah, she said, I stay out of Contessa marriage because I learned a while ago, Contessa will tell you something about her and Scott, and then if you bring it up, she gets mad that you remember, and she don't want to talk about it. And production flashes back to the years of Dr. Contessa doing just that, cursing the ladies out about, keep your MFing name out of your GD mouth about my husband, putting all combinations of curses together. If anybody says anything about her and Scott, yet if you're alone with Contessa, in 5 minutes, she's going to be crying in your arms about Dr. Scott. So, y'all, I didn't like her trying to ruin Brandy's party. And she was, not party, but dinner. She was literally trying to ruin it. Dear Yvette, Sandra, I love your live. Thank you so much. You know, I love when people can come in and make a live, but Team Replay knows they're special as well. Because when y'all put in comments, it makes me remember stuff because my notes are all over the place and I don't like to keep looking down. Dear Yvette, thank you. So Sharon Gobble is laughing. I know it, Dr. Heavenly. We have a love-hate relationship with Dr. Heavenly because that lady is a mess. Friend of might be just the ticket for her because she knows how to come in, do that little stuff. And when she set Brandy up, Brandy was already in a good mood, her gold dress, she had her hair down, her husband had left the credit card, and she didn't have all them kids. Brandy was ready to party. Dr. Contessa was already mad. Threw her own party. And then we find out that the woman went home and cooked for 10 hours the next day. You look like a real fool. Heavenly scared of Contessa. Oh, yeah. After she told her, square up, going to. And if she had caught her, y'all, Heavenly was running. And remember, she had on some kind of back out dress. Matter of fact, she had a back out dress on this time, but she did it better. She could move around and she had the right shapewear on. When she was running from Dr. Heavenly, she had on some kind of little halter thing. And her whole business fell out. And so Dr. Jackie and them was like, ooh, you having a nip slip. They're trying to stand in front of her. She was trying to get away from Dr. Heavenly, still talk junk and say, yo mama. And Dr. Contessa was squared up. So that's really when they stopped being friends for good. But now they're so-called friends again. And I'm just looking at Dr. Contessa like a fool again. Here is Mama 59 Works. I agree with dear Yvette. I love your lives. I'm over here cracking up. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you and everyone that comes into the live. So y'all, Dr. Simone did a confessional, clocks that she's mad about Scott. Brandy called it out. She says, she said, I love my husband. I appreciate him throwing me this birthday dinner. They couldn't bring Brandy down, y'all. She was still smiling. She said, Contessa, I'm sorry you have a problem with it. Here's Contessa. Y'all the one with the problem. That's how she was talking at the dinner table. Angel finally said, she said, this is overstimulating. It was because Angel, Quad, they were on the same side of the table as Contessa, and Contessa kept yelling. I never had dinner with people that do that. I couldn't do that, y'all. So she's yelling, she's insulting the party. And if this is a dinner, but if somebody had thrown this for me, I would have been underwhelmed. So that's when Brandy was telling her there's no competition. Brandy corrects, this is a dinner. So I feel sorry for Contessa. She is so sad. She's embarrassing. She's not even a mean old lady or a bitter old lady yet like Dr. Jackie. She's young. Dr. Contessa's not even 50 yet, y'all. She said, I wanted to throw this party for myself before I turn 50. And guess what? Scott's not going to throw you a big 50th next year either. You're going to look a fool again. So Angel does a confessional, said I'm starting to think this is normal for this group. And I put a note, Angel, your turn is coming. Don't worry about Angel, y'all. I think she's already well equipped. She's wearing my first season cloak of immunity, and we're not going to let the ladies get her. So she keeps showing up looking pretty, making her expressions. And Quad's just so glad that the conversation has not gone to her. Now, Quad caught a stray. This is the last part of the review, y'all. While Contessa is screaming and yelling, she said, and I have friends. They might have a Rolls Royce, but they don't have no ring. I'd rather have a ring. Who got a Rolls Royce? Quad. Quad gets a confessional and says, I'd rather have the Rolls Royce and the ring, and I don't have a headache. She said, I have the paper to the Rolls Royce. I have my ring in my safe, and I don't have a headache. Now, Quad, I want Quad to be careful because King is doing a lot. King is her boyfriend. I think they're a real couple. Some people don't believe that, but he's going on this IVF journey with her, and I don't know about him. He's made a couple of comments that he's been trying to dodge a bullet his whole life as far as getting someone pregnant, but King already has a daughter, y'all. So I didn't like him making that comment. We also saw a scene of them working out. Quad's working out right next to him, y'all. She's working out right next to him, and Quad's already bad. So he's like, oh, you trying to unbig your back? She's like, I'm slim in the waist and cute in the face. And he said, well, not big, maybe wide. And Quad started laughing. I don't like this for you, Quad. This man is trying to pick you to get, he's trying to pick your self-confidence down. I want her to watch that and be wary of that. So y'all, that was the end of the episode. Oh no, Contessa did one more thing. Brandy handled her exactly correctly. She said, Contessa said, I pay for my own party. Y'all giving men a lot of credit for basic-ish. And Brandy was like, it's not a competition. This is a birthday dinner. You had your party. And Contessa says, well, I brought my money just in case I needed to pay. Now, these are all nurse practitioners, doctors. They all have a job on this show. Contessa pulls out, y'all, the purse. I know Toya was horrified. It was a little change purse with like a little bear on the front. My nephew got one of them, a little bear on the front. I put my money out. Dr. Mimi said, put your coin purse away. Y'all, I had to laugh at Dr. Mimi. She sounded just like Whitley Gilbert when she said that. Put your coin purse away. She was disgusted. In the end, y'all, Dr. Contessa went out looking like a fool. I'm really sorry for what happened with her. I'm glad Brandy handled her because it was embarrassing. Davette says, King don't really care about Quad. She's doing the most to have a man in her life. It's just sad. I didn't like that. And then you going to Ghana. Dr. Jackie is my doctor stateside, but we going to Ghana to get my babies. He was making fun of her taking those injections. He was like, oh, big. Now she said, let me go in the bathroom, take care of myself. She's going in there. It's a big needle, y'all. They stick it in their side. And he said, big best Quad, scared of this needle? She was like, I'm not scared. I just like to do it myself. Because we know some people make everything a joint event. I see people on TikTok, their partner helping them put, you're not stick no needle in me if you don't have a medical degree. I'm sorry. Sandra, I still don't believe they're a real couple. Sharon has identified herself as one of the people that do not believe they're a real couple. He is embarrassing her on TV this year, Sharon. I hope she's at least getting something out of it. She tried to set up this cute little scene. She came in, this is at the beginning, he's eating. She's like, oh, don't be eating my food. Trying to make a joke about how your partner will eat your leftovers. He was like, I don't never eat your food. She said, you always eat my food. And then they get a confessional. Too many joint confessionals. I don't want to see this much of him. And he says, if you want me to still do it 15 times a day, you better feed me. And Quad said, shut my mouth. I don't like this new Quad. Relationship Quad is, I don't like it. Kiwan J, here's another person that says, I never saw it for King. It seems like he want to humble her. He does want to humble her. That is a dangerous quality in a man. I mean, I know he's a Jamaican, a Brooklyn Jamaican. They got a certain swag to him. But the ones that are really that confident, they don't have to pick their women apart. He's trying to take Quad down. Quad gets on my nerve because she's so over the top and extra. But I love Quad because she's so over the top and extra. So I don't know what he thinks he's going to accomplish. You know what a good storyline would be, Quad? A breakup on the show. You announce that you're pregnant and then you toss this ninja to the side. I'm mad that she took Sweet Tea's storyline. Dear Yvette, didn't she? And then sprinkle Ghana on it as for a good measure to give us something else to talk about. So now we just don't have the IVF storyline with Dr. Jackie. they're going to have a trip to Ghana. That was the end of the episode. Quad, I hate to see you getting your comeuppance, but I think with the way she treated Sweet Tea and Mariah Huck and the things she's done over the years, I don't know. King might be, as Kiwan J said, waiting to humble her. I don't like seeing that for any woman, even Quad. I don't really care for Quad, but this is terrible. Like Simone and Karma. Yeah, Dr. Simone did the same thing to Mariah Huck on TV. Y'all, why did Mariah have an IG post, her and Aiden, and it was labeled Tuition Tuesday? She says when the tuition drops the same day, we just take pleasure in paying it. Pan the camera over to Aiden. He's sitting there just looking. So that's Lauren and Ethan in college. Do y'all know years ago, Mariah said that her vision for this show, it was married to medicine. So it's focusing on the spouses. Dr. Jackie allegedly always thought her and Simone as the doctors could take more, they should get more respect and attention. Okay, I can understand, but don't mistreat the doctors' wives and the spouses. So Mariah, Toya, she wanted to showcase the spouses as well. But she said her vision was this show would have legs to the point where they'd be following the children one day. Could y'all imagine that? Ethan is at an HBCU. Laura, Mariah's daughter's in HBCU. Ethan is working on his pilot's license. He's also in school for engineering. Look at Dr. Heavenly's 3 children, Dr. Damon Jr. All of them have so much going on. Toya's 2 little sons, we've watched them cook and host parties. So, I mean, they stole this lady's vision, but they didn't really, everybody's going through. Yeah, y'all the last people standing, but Mariah's over there shining. Watch her on YouTube. She got a whole Christmas special. Her and Miss Lucy, they cooked down. When I tell you, now they didn't have no aluminum things in their pans. They were cooking. And Miss Lucy got in the camera talking about, my son-in-law calls this pumpkin pie, y'all, but this is sweet potato pie. So Aiden is never not going to catch strays from Mama Lucy. But y'all, that was the end of the episode, and it was a good one. I'm going to go ahead and Contessa, not because of that $40,000 party that somebody owe you $38,000. So find those people and get that money back from them. It was because of the scene with Dr. Simone and Michael, Miles and Cecil, and also Brandy's dinner party, where you can have a medium-aged hater sitting there hating on you, and you sitting up there shining in a gold dress. Love, love, love the comments. Team chat. It helps stand in the algorithm. It does. Thank you so much. It does help me in the algorithm. And everyone have a great rest of your day. And I want to showcase what Kiwan J said, because she called this out some time ago. She absolutely took her storyline. Quad did. Quad slid right up under that storyline. And King had her back, attacking Sweet Tea and Dr. Greg. And now the two of them, they're sitting up there kind of miserable. You give this episode an 8? I'll give it a 9. Let's give them an 85. 8.5? Okay. So we got an 8, an 8.5, and I gave it a 9. Because just those 2 scenes provided so much commentary. I'm getting Purple Hearts from Dear Yvette. Thank you so much. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me during this live. Team Replay, thank you as well. We got another 8. So yeah, this was a pretty highly rated episode, y'all. It was really good. See ya. Thank you for joining. Team Replay, press the like button. Thank you. Subscribe if you're not. See ya, and I'll see you in the YouTube streets. Goodbye, everybody.